Today we begin with the grand premise of all creation, the singular truth that governs your reality. The world is a mirror of your inner beliefs and thoughts. This is not poetry, it is physics. It is the fundamental law of reflection. You have been taught by the world to view your life as a series of random external events, things that happen to you determined by luck, chance, or the independent will of others. I tell you that this view is the primary illusion, the deep slumber from which you must awaken. Imagine for a moment that the entire world around you, every person, every circumstance, every success and every failure is simply a passive, neutral screen upon which your inner state is perpetually projected. The world is not the creator. The world is merely the reflection. It is consciousness objectified. It has no choice but to reflect what you are doing within yourself. If you are smiling at the mirror, the reflection must smile back. If you are frowning, the reflection must frown. The critical realization is this: the reflection never initiates, it only responds. Most of us go through life attempting the spiritual absurdity of trying to change the reflection without changing the face. We desperately try to wipe the mirror clean, believing that if we could just change the boss, the spouse, the economy, or the government, our lives would finally be satisfactory. We exert tremendous effort fighting shadows on the glass while the dirt remains firmly on our side of the reflection. This is the definition of futility. The moment you recognize the immense power of your thoughts is the first step in understanding that you hold the keys to your future. You hold the key to unlocking everything you've ever wanted, but the key is not in the world outside of you. The key is found within the clarity and conviction of your most deeply held inner beliefs. Your beliefs are the foundation upon which your entire physical reality is built. If the foundation is sound, the house stands firm. If the foundation is rooted in doubt, fear, and limitation, the entire structure of your life will eventually collapse. Let us look deeply into what constitutes this belief. It is not merely the thoughts you affirm in your morning ritual. Belief is the subconscious, non-negotiable feeling of certainty you hold about yourself and your place in the world. It is the inner conviction of I am. Your belief systems shape your actions, your decisions, and your perceptions, and ultimately your reality reflects them. If you believe, deep down in the core of your being, that you are worthy of success, that you are capable of immense achievement, and that abundance flows to you easily, the world must rearrange itself to validate that assumption. The job opens up, the partner appears, the opportunity rushes in. Conversely, if you believe that you are limited, that you are a victim of the past, and that wealth is reserved for others, the world acts as a faithful, terrible witness to that conviction. It proves you right by presenting obstacle after obstacle. Trust in the power of belief, because the moment you believe in something, you start creating it. The mirror principle exposes the illusion of externality. You are not bound by the limits of the present moment. You are free to create your future with the power of your imagination. The struggles you face are not random acts of fate. They are precise, personalized feedback mechanisms. They are your life telling you what you truly believe about yourself. If you are constantly encountering betrayal, you must look within and ask, where within me do I hold a deep, unresolved expectation of betrayal? If you are constantly struggling with money, you must ask, where within me do I hold the belief that I am unworthy of easy, sustained wealth? The world cannot help but reflect back to you what you believe is true. Change your thoughts, and you change your world. Your journey to mastery begins with the courage to take absolute, radical responsibility for everything you see. Furthermore, we must address the most common barrier to mastery, the belief in the old man. The weak version of yourself was shaped by past failures and doubts. When you attempt to visualize a new life, the reflection of your past consciousness immediately interferes. Your mind whispers, remember the last time you tried this? You failed. You are a fraud. This is the memory of the past trying to assert control over the present. Holding on to old mistakes and regrets keeps you anchored in a psychological space that no longer serves your divine potential. Every moment you spend dwelling on the past takes away from the creative power of the present. The past cannot be changed in the world of facts, But how you choose to react to it, how you choose to remember it, changes everything. The moment you stop living in yesterday is the moment you truly begin to grow. You must neutralize the emotional charge of past events, so they no longer appear in the mirror of your present life. The world is a mirror of your thoughts. This means every interaction, every event, every person you encounter is a reflection of what is happening inside your mind. If you encounter a rude person, instead of immediately blaming them, you must pause and ask, what state of consciousness did I inhabit that required this rudeness to be reflected back to me? This is the hard work of self-mastery. It is easy to blame the reflection. It requires immense spiritual courage to recognize that the cause of all things is within you. Consequently, the answer to every problem is also within you. If you focus on negativity, you'll see negativity all around you. If you cultivate positivity, which is simply alignment with the truth of your infinite potential, your surroundings will align to reflect that. The choice is not whether you will create or not create. The choice is what you will create. What you expect becomes what you receive. This is the law of magnetic attraction, but it is fundamentally powered by your belief. The thoughts that dominate your mind directly influence the path you walk. Every desire you have, no matter how big or small, starts as a thought. If you want to change your life, begin by changing your thoughts. Focus on the outcomes you desire, visualize them clearly, and hold them in your mind consistently. The world will conspire to make your dominant thought true. If your dominant thought is fear, the world gives you scenarios to validate your fear. If your dominant thought is abundance, the world gives you opportunities to validate your abundance. Your mind is like a magnet, drawing similar energies to itself. You are constantly pulling your future toward you through your fixed expectations. The key to unlocking this life is to think it into existence. This is where the power of conscious creation begins. You must cease to be a passive recipient of circumstances and become an active participant in their design. The life you've always wanted is waiting for you to align your thoughts with it. But this alignment must be rooted in a deep sense of self-worth. If you believe you are worthy of a great life, the mirror must show you greatness. If you believe you are not worthy, the mirror will show you smallness. The great spiritual command is to change your concept of self. Stop looking in the mirror and seeing the beggar. Wipe the mirror clean and see the king. See the healer. See the millionaire. See the powerful, unstoppable version of you that is destined for greatness. That version holds the blueprint for your reality. Your challenge is to believe in that version so wholeheartedly that no external condition can shake your faith. You must smile at the mirror, even when your entire life seems to be frowning back. That smile is the beginning of the true work. This inner conviction is what separates those who wander aimlessly from those who steer their ship toward a clear harbor. Trust in the power of your mind and trust that your dreams are within reach. Go forward with confidence. The future is yours to shape, but the shaping must start within the silence of your own belief. This is the bedrock. This is the foundation. If this principle fails, then all that follows, the visualization, the emotion, the command, is useless. But I tell you, this law does not fail. The mirror always works. The reflection is always true. Your only task is to ensure the image you hold within is the image you wish to see outside. Stop fighting the reflection. Start changing the face. We have established the foundational law. The world is a mirror of your inner beliefs. Now we must acquire the tool required to draw the new image upon that mirror. That tool is not struggle, it is not physical labor, and it is not brute force. That tool is the human imagination, exercised through the art of visualization. Most of humanity walks through life confusing visualization with passive daydreaming. They close their eyes to escape reality, to forget their troubles, and to watch the fleeting images of what they wish were true. The master, however, uses visualization not as an escape from reality, but as the only means of creating reality. The visions you hold in your mind are not wishes. They are the exact, detailed blueprint for your reality. You are not a spectator watching the universe perform. You are the playwright, the director, and the star of your own creation. To practice this art effectively, you must understand the distinction between watching a scene and entering a scene. Daydreaming is watching the movie of your life from the perspective of the audience. You see yourself in the picture, distant and separated from the action. True visualization is entering the screen. You must step into the scene and view the world from the first-person perspective of the new man. You are not watching yourself succeed. You are experiencing the sensation of success. When you visualize yourself receiving the good news, you must not see yourself on the phone. You must see the room around you, the hands on your body, the phone in your hand, and hear the voice speaking directly to you. This shift from third-person passive viewing to first-person active occupation is the difference between a vain wish and a divine decree. The success of this art lies in its clarity and its conviction. The clearer and more detailed your visualizations, the faster your desires begin to manifest. Vague visions produce vague results. If you want abundance, you must not simply see a pile of money. You must feel the texture of the check you are endorsing. You must hear the congratulations of the people who matter most. You must smell the unique scent of the material you now own. You must engage all 5 senses in this inner act. The greater the sensory implication, the more real the scene becomes, and the more deeply it is impressed upon the subconscious mind. Make it so real that when you open your eyes, you are momentarily shocked that the outer world does not yet match the vivid, solid reality you just inhabited. That shock is the sign that the spiritual work is complete. Furthermore, we must discuss the specific state required for deep impression, which I call the state akin to sleep, or SATS. The subconscious mind, which is the creative medium, is highly receptive when the critical faculty is subdued. The critical faculty is the analytical, reasoning mind that says, that's impossible. You don't have the money. You failed last time. When you lie down and allow your body to relax completely in that state of drowsy, lazy, delightful semi-sleep, the state between waking and sleeping, the critical faculty begins its slumber. This is the optimal moment for your creative work. In this state, a visualization infused with feeling bypasses the guard of reason and sinks deep into the creative subconscious. This is why effort and strain are the enemies of true visualization. You do not force the seed to grow. You plant it gently in the dark, warm earth. The state of relaxation is the dark, warm earth of your mind. You must choose a single, short scene that implies the fulfillment of your entire desire. This is the art of the final scene. Do not visualize the entire process of getting from here to there. That is God's job. Your job is only to visualize the result. If you desire a new career, your scene should be a friend congratulating you on the job well done, or the sound of the key turning in the lock of your new office. If you desire financial freedom, your scene should be checking your bank balance and feeling a wave of immense, calm relief, or signing a generous check with effortless abundance. This scene must be brief, no more than 30 seconds, and you must run it over and over again in your imagination until it possesses the feeling of reality. You must repeat it until the emotion of the wish fulfilled is all that remains. This repetition in the sat state is the language the subconscious understands perfectly. The transcript reminds us that the most extraordinary things often seem impossible before they happen. Your job is to make the impossible feel normal. Visualization is the tool for normalizing the miracle. When you repeatedly experience the success in vivid detail, your subconscious shifts its definition of possible. It begins to align your beliefs, your actions, and your decisions with that new vision. Visualization is the essential bridge between thought and action, because the vision, once impressed upon the subconscious, drives you to take the physical steps necessary for its realization. You will find yourself compelled to call a certain person, open a certain book, or take a specific risk, and these actions will appear entirely logical and natural to you. They are the physical movements of the bridge of incidents which your internal blueprint has set in motion. Furthermore, we must treat visualization not just as a technique, but as an act of spiritual possession. When you enter the scene of your desire, you are telling the universe, "This is mine. I claim it. I occupy this space." This declaration, made in the sanctuary of your imagination, is the most powerful decree you can issue. Many people try to create from a place of desperation or lack, but true creation comes from a place of plenitude. When you visualize, you are not pleading for a future event. You are receiving a present gift. The unseen forces are at work in your life, but they require a clear blueprint. A vague vision leads to vague results. The more vivid and detailed your vision, the more tangible it becomes in your life. Picture it as though you are already living it. Feel the textures, hear the sounds, see the colors. Make your vision so real that your mind starts working to bring it into reality. Visualization is your greatest creative tool because it allows you to transcend the limitations of your current circumstances. The room you are sitting in, the clothes you are wearing, the problems on your desk, these are all temporary. They are the shadows of a passing scene. Your imagination is the only permanent creative power. When you start visualizing the life you want, you activate the process of making it happen by changing the image that the mirror reflects. Never underestimate the power of imagination. It is the birthplace of all change. I urge you to stop doubting your ability to perform this sacred art and start creating. Close your eyes and visualize the life you want. Enter the scene. Feel the emotions of having it already. When you carry that vision with unwavering faith, the universe will begin to move in ways you can't yet understand. Trust the process, trust your mind, and trust that your dreams are not just within reach, they are already within you. They are waiting for the art of visualization to bring them forth. We have established the foundational law of the mirror, and we have acquired the tool of the architect, which is visualization. You have drawn the blueprint, and you see the perfect life standing before you in your imagination. But the question remains, why does the blueprint not become the building? Why do so many who visualize fail to manifest? The answer is simple, and it is the single greatest secret of all creation. Visualization alone isn't enough to truly bring your dreams into existence. Thought is the vehicle, but emotion is the fuel. Thought is the wire, but emotion is the electrical current that runs through it. 1,000 clear thoughts of abundance will produce nothing if they are accompanied by a dominant feeling of poverty or unworthiness. Emotion is the creative force that gives reality to the image. It is the spiritual ignition switch. Without it, your most vivid vision remains a cold, dead statue in the garden of your mind. You must understand the physics of feeling. Your subconscious mind, which is the creative medium of the universe, does not understand human language. It does not understand logic or reason. It does not analyze your blueprint and say, this is a good idea. The subconscious mind understands only one thing perfectly: the language of emotion. Emotion is the universal signal. It is the language of God. When you feel the excitement, joy, and fulfillment of already living your dream, you are sending a clear, powerful signal to the subconscious mind. You are saying, this is the true state. This is the reality I occupy. Conversely, when you visualize wealth but feel desperate, you are sending two contradictory signals. The subconscious, always loyal, will disregard the thought, the blueprint, and obey the stronger signal, the feeling, which is desperation. It gives you more scenarios to feel desperate about. To master the law, you must harmonize the thought and the feeling. You must feel what the wish fulfilled would naturally feel like. This feeling must possess the density of reality. It is not general happiness you seek, it is the specific, organic emotion that would follow the event. You must feel the relief of the debt being paid. You must feel the security of the health restored. You must feel the deep, quiet satisfaction of the success achieved. This is the art of appropriation. You appropriate the state and its corresponding emotion. When you can vividly feel the fulfillment of your desire, you become a magnet for it. Your dreams will activate and begin to unfold in your life because emotions amplify your intentions, making them more real and tangible. This is the essence of the secret. Feeling is the secret. It is the divine password that unlocks the entire kingdom. The supreme challenge in this practice is that the world actively works to give you the wrong fuel. You sit in your meditation and feel abundant, but then you open a bill and the immediate, sharp feeling of panic rushes in. That panic is pure emotional fuel. It is high-octane anxiety that is instantly used to reinforce the blueprint of lack. The greatest work you will do is to neutralize this negative fuel the moment it appears. You must refuse to accept the emotional charge of the negative fact. You must look at the bill and say, "I see you, but you are a lie. The truth is the relief I felt in my imagination." You must immediately generate the counter-emotion, the feeling of the wish fulfilled, and hold it. This requires immense spiritual strength. It requires you to consciously decide what you will allow yourself to feel. You cannot be passive about your emotions. Your feelings are the rudder of your creative ship. You must seize that rudder and steer it with conviction. Furthermore, we must discuss the principle of emotional majority. Your life is not shaped by the 20 minutes you spend visualizing. It is shaped by the 23 hours and 40 minutes you spend reacting to the world. If you visualize success for a brief period but spend the rest of the day worrying, complaining, and fearing, the emotional majority is fear. The subconscious mind, always obedient to the strongest current, will follow the fear. You are constantly casting votes with your emotions. Every time you feel anxiety, you cast a vote for lack. Every time you feel gratitude for what you have, you cast a vote for abundance. To win the election of your life, you must ensure that the emotional majority, the dominant feeling, is aligned with your desired outcome. This requires a relentless mental diet. You must fast from the destructive emotions of worry and fear. You must monitor your inner world and replace the feelings of struggle with the feelings of certainty. The feelings you generate must lead to a state of naturalness. This is a subtle point that many miss. When you first imagine success, you may feel overwhelming excitement or euphoria. That is normal, but it is not the final, sustained feeling you seek. If you win the lottery today, you would be excited, but tomorrow, that excitement settles into a quiet, deep security. That security is the feeling of the wish fulfilled. It is a feeling of knowingness. It is a feeling of finality. It is the feeling of rest, the Sabbath of the soul. When you achieve your imaginal act and it truly takes hold, the desperate wanting disappears. It is replaced by a calm satisfaction, a feeling of, "Thank God, it is done." If you are still striving, still straining, still desperate, you are signaling to the subconscious that you are still separated from the gift. You must rest emotionally. You must feel the ease and security of possession. The failure to generate the correct emotion is why many powerful thoughts remain barren. Thoughts become things only when they are impregnated by feeling. This is the marriage of consciousness. The thought, the male aspect, the seed must meet the feeling. The female aspect, the nurturing soil. Without the soil, the seed dies. The subconscious is the soil. It is fertile ground. It receives any seed, whether that seed is one of health or sickness, wealth or poverty. It is not judgmental. It simply receives the emotional charge and grows it into a physical harvest. Your job is to ensure that the feeling you impress upon the soil is the feeling of your desire already realized. You are an emotional sculptor. You are shaping the raw substance of reality with the heat of your conviction. Furthermore, you must use your body to generate the feeling. Your body is the spiritual battery. When you visualize, assume the posture that corresponds to the fulfilled desire. If you desire authority, sit tall. If you desire confidence, walk with a heavy, steady stride. Your physical action, even if practiced in privacy, generates a corresponding emotional current that charges the imaginal act. This is the loop of creation. The thought creates the image creates the feeling, and the feeling creates the physical reality. By consciously controlling your posture and your breathing, you hack the feeling part of the loop. A deep, relaxed breath is the signal for safety and security. A shallow, anxious breath is the signal for fear and struggle. Use your breath to manage the energy you are feeding your subconscious. Every success story begins with a simple thought or idea before any goal is achieved. Someone had to think it into existence and feel it into reality. Whether it's a dream of a successful career, a fulfilled relationship, or financial freedom, it all starts with the decision to believe it's possible and to sustain the emotional conviction that it is real. Your dreams will activate and begin to unfold in your life when your dominant feeling becomes one of fulfillment. I urge you to stop giving power to the small, petty emotions of worry and jealousy, and invest fully in the grand, noble emotion of the wish fulfilled. Every emotion is a vote. Vote for your freedom. Vote for your joy. Vote for your purpose. Let your feeling be the irresistible magnetic force that pulls your blueprint out of the imagination and into the solid world of tangible facts. The key to unlocking this life is to feel it into existence. This is the secret. This is the law. This is the power that resides within the feeling of the awakened king. We have revealed the true secret of creation. Emotion is the fuel. But now you must learn how to sustain that fuel and drive your vision to its physical destination. This requires mastering the mind's greatest illusion, time. If you are ready to stop delaying your destiny and learn the advanced techniques of focused manifestation, I invite you to join this community of architects. Subscribe to this channel. By subscribing, you are asserting that you are a serious creator, not just a casual observer. Join us and prepare to dismantle the calendar of your limitations. Now let us collapse the illusion of time. We have navigated the mirror of belief, built the blueprint of our desire, and fused our thought with the heat of emotion. Yet, a final, subtle barrier remains, one that prevents instantaneous creation and keeps the king waiting outside the gates of his own kingdom. That barrier is the illusion of time. We must confront this illusion and dismantle it, for the delay between your imaginal act and your physical manifestation is the final friction you must overcome. You are not bound by the limits of the present moment. You are free to create your future with the power of your imagination. But your mind must be freed from the tyranny of the clock. You must understand the physics of creation. The world you see around you, the three-dimensional world of space, time, and matter, is merely the effect of a higher, unseen reality. That higher reality is the fourth dimension, the world of pure consciousness, the realm of the I Am. In the fourth dimension, the past, the present, and the future do not exist in a linear chain. They exist simultaneously. Imagine a completed book. To the character inside the book, the story unfolds line by line, page by page, in linear time. But to you, the reader, all chapters exist right now. You can flip to the final page and see the ending, and then return to the beginning. Your consciousness, the I Am within you, is the reader. The events of your life, your past failures, your current struggles, and your future triumphs are all finished, completed chapters in the book of your life. They exist now. The illusion of linear time is simply the mechanism by which your consciousness focuses and experiences one scene at a time. Your task is to shift your identity from the character who is waiting to the reader who already knows the end. The great trap of the seeker is waiting for the perfect moment. The truth is, the perfect moment rarely exists in the external world because the external world is always running late. It is always showing you the reflection of the past. Waiting for everything to be just right will only delay your progress. Instead, you must realize that you are not waiting for time. Time is waiting for you. You must collapse the timeline. You must bring the future into the present. Do not say, I will be happy. Say, I am happy. Do not say, I will be rich. Say, I am rich. When you claim it in the present tense, you remove the spiritual friction. You tell the universe that the waiting is over. You are no longer praying for a future event. You are receiving a present gift. You are using the eternal now to override the temporary limits of the clock. The words someday and tomorrow are the curses of the sleeping mind. They are not merely temporal markers. They are emotional declarations of separation. When you say, I hope to manifest wealth someday, you are affirming a vibrational gap. You are placing your desire far away on the horizon, and the universe, always obedient, will keep it there. You must become a master of the present tense. You must treat your desire as a finished fact. You must operate from the premise that the financial success you seek is not coming to you. It is happening now in the fourth dimension, and you are simply experiencing the unfolding of its inevitability in the third dimension. Your only delay is the time it takes for you to sustain the emotional conviction of the now. This transformation requires the technique of present appropriation. You must go into your imaginal act and embody the feeling of the now. If you desire a new home, you must not visualize the delivery truck arriving next year. You must visualize the rain falling on the roof of that home tonight. You must feel the texture of the sheets on the bed now. You must hear the sounds of your family in this moment. You are taking psychological possession of the future. By thinking from the goal, you are planting the seed of the finished oak tree directly into the soil of the subconscious. In the physical world, the oak tree takes decades to grow, but in the spiritual world, the entire oak tree, the acorn, and the aged wood exists simultaneously. The time delay is merely the mechanism of externalization. By fully inhabiting the now, you accelerate this mechanism. You are forcing the entire oak tree to unfold itself in an accelerated time frame. Patience is a virtue, especially when manifesting your desires. But patience is not passive waiting, it is active expectation. Passive waiting is suffering resignation. Active expectation is unwavering certainty. While you wait, never lose sight of your vision. Continue to nurture your dream, visualize it, and take small intentional actions that move you forward. Trust that the right opportunities are coming and that timing is everything, because your timing is everything. The seed is growing underground. Just because you cannot see the sprout does not mean the work is not being done. A farmer plants the seed and then trusts the hidden process of growth. He does not dig up the seed every day to check its progress, for he knows that digging it up will kill it. You must be the patient farmer of your own mind. Plant the seed of your desire, the feeling of the wish fulfilled, and then leave it in the darkness of the subconscious, trusting the law of growth to unfold it perfectly. Furthermore, you must exercise dominion over the calendar. The clock is a servant, not a master. You are the king, and the clock works for you. You must stop calculating the delay. Every time you calculate, how long will this take? You are confirming the time barrier. You are adding friction. Instead, you must walk through your day with the absolute certainty that the manifestation is already complete. If someone asks you when you are going to achieve your dream, you do not give them a date in the future. You smile and say, "It is finished." This is not a lie. This is a declaration of spiritual truth. You are not bound by the limitations of the past's echo. You are governed by the immediate reality of your imagination. Your future self is fully realized in the present. You are simply stepping into those shoes now. Uncertainty often arises from a lack of clarity, but it is the illusion of time that sustains the confusion. When your vision is foggy or unclear, you feel lost and directionless. The clarity that dispels confusion is the clarity of the present moment. By vividly defining what you want, not as a future hope, but as a current experience, you give yourself a roadmap to follow. Clarity brings confidence because you know exactly where you're headed. A strong, clear vision of your desired future eliminates confusion and helps you take consistent, confident action toward your goals. You must become unreasonable in your belief in the present tense. Reason tells you to wait. Faith commands you to act now. You must choose faith. The collapse of time is the liberation from the tyranny of external proof. You must stop waiting for the external world to give you permission to feel good. You must stop waiting for the external world to give you permission to feel abundant. The moment you feel it, the clock begins to move in your favor. If you are waiting for a new job to feel secure, you will be waiting indefinitely. If you claim the feeling of security now, the new job must manifest to validate that security. The universe is always seeking equilibrium. It is always seeking to balance the inner feeling with the outer fact. When you shift the inner feeling to the now, the universe is thrown off balance, and its immense power is directed toward the instantaneous creation of the outer fact to restore balance. This is the mechanism of immediate manifestation. Your vision is unfolding even when you don't see immediate results. Trust that everything is happening behind the scenes. The universe is a perfect machine. When you place an order, the visualization impregnated by emotion, the production process begins immediately. You do not check the production floor every 5 seconds. You trust the process. You continue to nurture your dream by returning to the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Every step you take, every thought you focus on, every action you make that aligns with your desired state brings you closer to your dreams. The manifestation process is already underway. Do not interfere with it by introducing doubt, which is the emotional equivalent of telling the universe to stop and restart the process. This mastery of time is the ultimate skill of the awakened king. A king does not wait for the crown to be made. He wears the crown in his mind, and the crown is immediately rushed into existence. You are not bound by the limits of a linear existence. You are a fourth-dimensional being, focusing temporarily in a third-dimensional world. Your true home is the eternal. Now, where all possibilities coexist, you must return to that home in your imagination every day and bring back the finished blueprint of your desire. By inhabiting the now, you are asserting your sovereignty over the clock. You are declaring that you are the author of time, not its subject. You are making the word flesh. You are turning the invisible into the visible. The collapse of time is the final, essential step in architecting your reality, freeing you from the chains of delay and placing the entire masterpiece of your life into the present moment of creation. The time is now. The work is finished. Go forth and experience it. We have performed the great work of spiritual physics. We have accepted the law of the mirror, fused our thoughts with emotion, and successfully collapsed the illusion of time. The blueprint is complete, the fuel is engaged, and the destination is now. But how do we sustain this state? How do we keep the vision alive against the ceaseless, chaotic bombardment of the third-dimensional world? The answer is the most profound lesson in spiritual mastery, the discipline of focus. Your mind is where everything begins. Every dream, every desire, every goal. It is the creative force that powers your actions and decisions. However, the mind is a wild horse, prone to distraction, and distraction is the greatest enemy of the creative process. If the energy of your thought is scattered, your creation is weak and undefined. If your energy is focused, your creation is inevitable. You must view attention as the highest currency in the universe. Attention is not merely looking at something. Attention is the direction of your creative power. Where attention goes, energy flows, and creation follows. To scatter your attention is to commit spiritual bankruptcy. The world, through its noise, its media, and its trivial demands, constantly attempts to siphon your attention away from your desired end. It tries to get you to focus on the things that are old, that are dying, and that are fearful. Your discipline lies in refusing to give your attention, your currency, to the things you do not wish to multiply. What you focus on expands. If you focus on lack, lack expands. If you focus on illness, illness expands. This is the simple, uncompromising law of correspondence. You are a powerful magnet, and your focus is the mechanism that aligns the polarity. If you focus on success, abundance, and love, that is what the universe will bring to you. Your thoughts are the magnet drawing similar energies to itself. You must choose your focus carefully because it is literally pulling your future toward you. The first step in establishing this discipline is recognizing the immense power of your thoughts. Every single thought you have is powerful. Thoughts are energy, and energy shapes reality. A single positive thought, sustained with focus, can create an avalanche of positive change, while a scattered negative thought can start a downward spiral. By consciously choosing empowering thoughts, you can transform your entire life. Even the smallest positive thought can spark a chain reaction that shifts your life in extraordinary ways. You must become a vigilant sentinel at the gate of your mind, preventing entry to any thought that denies your desired state. This is the practical application of the mental diet. You are fasting from all mental food that is not in alignment with your vision. It is not enough to visualize for 20 minutes in the morning and then spend the remaining 23 hours and 40 minutes worrying. The dominant thought, the thought that occupies the majority of your attention, is the thought that will manifest. You must ensure that the dominant thought is the thought of victory. Furthermore, we must address the problem of uncertainty. Uncertainty often arises from a lack of clarity. When your vision is foggy or unclear, your focus is scattered, and you feel lost and directionless. The mind cannot focus on a vague notion like "I want good things." It needs a target. You must clearly define what you want, giving yourself a roadmap to follow. Clarity brings confidence because you know exactly where you're headed. A vague vision leads to vague results. The more vivid and detailed your vision, the more tangible it becomes in your life. The focus is always on the final scene. You are not focusing on the process, the struggles, or the obstacles. You are focusing on the accomplished fact. This clear vision of your desired future eliminates confusion and helps you take consistent, confident action toward your goals. Be clear, and certainty will follow. This vision is the compass you use to navigate the chaos of the world. The ultimate test of your focus lies in your relationship with obstacles. Obstacles are inevitable, but they are not roadblocks. They are opportunities for directed focus. The sleeping man encounters a challenge and immediately focuses all his attention on the size of the challenge, the unfairness of the challenge, and the difficulty of the challenge. By focusing on the obstacle, he strengthens it. He gives it life. He makes it immovable. The master, however, encounters the challenge and immediately shifts his focus entirely to the desired outcome. He sees the obstacle not as a problem, but as the catalyst that must be used to move toward the goal. Your attention should be fixed firmly on your goal, not the challenges. Your energy flows where your focus goes, so focus on success, and the obstacles will fade into the background. They become temporary and solvable only when you refuse to grant them the power of your attention. To achieve this sustained focus, you must harness the power of consistent small actions. You must embody the new man in the smallest moments. Often we look for big breakthroughs, but success is built through consistent small actions over time. It is the daily decisions to return your attention to the feeling of the wish fulfilled. It is the practice of maintaining the inner conversation of success. These small actions done consistently lead to extraordinary outcomes. Don't underestimate the power of the little things. They are the foundation of your success. The consistency of your focus is what compounds your creative energy. Your future is a reflection of the person you choose to become right now, and that choice is made repeatedly, moment by moment, through the direction of your attention. The discipline of focus requires you to confront the negative thoughts that try to derail your vision. By consciously choosing empowering thoughts, you can transform your entire life. But the challenge is to be mindful of the thoughts you choose to dwell on. They have the power to shape your destiny. If you find yourself in a spiral of negative rumination, you must immediately intervene. You do not fight the thought. You starve it. You divert your attention. Think of your mind as a great river. When the river is flowing toward your desired goal, everything is easy. When you allow a negative thought to enter, it is like a small rock trying to redirect the river. If you focus on the rock, it becomes a dam. If you ignore the rock and keep the pressure of your attention on the goal, the force of the river simply moves past the rock. You must maintain the directional flow of your mental river toward the sea of your desired reality. This sustained focus is the key to accelerating manifestation. When you hold your dominant thought consistently, the universe magnetically attracts more of it into your life. If your focus is abundance, success, and love, those are the things the universe will bring to you. Your mind is the magnet, and your focus is the power switch. You must consciously choose your focus because it is pulling your future toward you. This is why the power of visualization is so critical. Before success can manifest in your life, you must first visualize it. When you clearly see yourself succeeding, you build the mental image that guides your focus. That image is the blueprint from which your reality is constructed. The more you visualize, the more you align your subconscious with your goals, making focused action and thus success inevitable. Furthermore, you must guard your focus against external influences. Silence the voices of doubt and naysayers. The world is full of people who are enslaved by their own lack of focus, and they will try to pull your attention into their chaos. You must filter out negative influences. Your energy is a currency, and you must not spend it on people who cannot afford your dream. Your journey is yours, and no one else's opinion should steer you off course. Your belief in your vision is the fuel that will drive you to success. Once you decide to change, do not look backward. The past is behind you, and the only direction that matters is ahead. The temptation to revisit past mistakes is a distraction. The resistance of the senses is a distraction. Your discipline must be absolute, attention only to the goal. Patience, in this context, is simply the sustained focus on the end result. Sometimes the universe takes time to align everything perfectly for you, but while you wait, never lose sight of your vision. Continue to nurture your dream, visualize it, and take small actions that move you forward. Patience is not passive, it is an active, focused expectation. You must trust that the right opportunities are coming, and that timing is everything, because you collapsed the time, and now your focused attention is forcing the manifestation. Your vision is unfolding, even when you don't see immediate results. The unseen forces are rearranging themselves. The manifestation process is already underway, but it requires the continuous, unwavering beam of your focus to guide it to completion. The light must not waver. The attention must not drift. You are the architect of your life, and focus is the beam that holds the structure in place. Without focus, your magnificent mental building is just a pile of disorganized thoughts. With focus, you transform the vision into a solid, tangible reality. Every single thought you have, every small decision you make, contributes to the life you're creating. Your future self is waiting to thank you for the disciplined actions you take today. Make each moment count toward your desired reality by fixing your attention only on what you wish to see manifest. Your attention is the creative power. Direct it with the precision of a master craftsman, and the world will yield to your design. We have journeyed through the stages of creation. We have accepted the law of the mirror, fueled our visions with emotion, and mastered the discipline of focus to collapse the illusion of time. Now we arrive at the final, most decisive battlefield of your transformation, the internal war between faith and doubt. Every truth we have spoken, every technique we have explored, rests entirely upon this internal victory. Faith is the cornerstone of all great achievements. It is the spiritual force that gives reality to your imaginal act. Doubt, conversely, is the only true sin. It is the poison that corrupts the creative medium of your subconscious and cancels your most fervent prayers. You must choose one and eliminate the other, for a house divided against itself cannot stand, and a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. You must first understand faith not as a religious sentiment or a passive wish, but as a state of absolute conviction. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Note the term substance. Faith is not smoke, it is structural material. It gives tangibility to the invisible. When you engage in the imaginal act, when you feel the reality of the wish fulfilled, you are creating a reality in the fourth dimension. Faith is the unwavering loyalty to that reality, even when the entire third dimension of your physical senses contradicts it. It is the refusal to accept the temporary facts of the present as the final truth of your being. This is what it means to walk by faith and not by sight. The eye of the physical world reports the past. The eye of faith perceives the future and holds it as present truth. Doubt, on the other hand, is spiritual paralysis. It is the consequence of double-mindedness. When you visualize success, but immediately follow it with fear, you are pressing the accelerator and the brake simultaneously. You are sending two mutually exclusive commands to your subconscious, which, being a perfect servant, cannot execute either one. It is forced into stagnation. Doubt is the fear that your own power is insufficient, that your own imagination is a lie. It is the voice of the old man desperately fighting for his survival, using logic and historical evidence as his weapons. Doubt will tell you, you failed last time. Be realistic. Where is the money coming from? If you listen to doubt, you are submitting your sovereign authority to the logic of the past. You must recognize that doubt is a vibration that cancels the manifestation frequency. It is the spiritual friction that locks the gears of creation. To be unwavering in your vision is to achieve a single-minded focus that makes success inevitable. The crucial battleground for faith is the interval, the period between your completed imaginal act and the physical manifestation. This interval is the testing ground. You have planted the seed of your desire in the dark, fertile soil of the subconscious. You know the oak is in the acorn, but your physical eyes cannot see the growth. Doubt attacks during this darkness. It manifests as impatience, anxiety, and the compulsion to dig up the seed to check its progress. If you dig up the seed, if you constantly question your vision and search for external proof, you kill the manifestation. Faith is the quiet, confident rest in the knowledge that the law of growth is unfolding your desire perfectly in the dark. It is the conviction that the order has been placed, the check has been signed, and the goods are already shipped. You do not panic over shipping delays. You remain poised and expected. To cultivate true faith, you must understand that it is a skill, not a gift. It is built through repetition, not by luck. Faith is the result of repeatedly experiencing the feeling of the wish fulfilled until that feeling becomes your dominant mental state. Every time you refuse to react to a negative fact and instead return to the feeling of certainty, you are building the muscle of faith. When you practice the imaginal act in the state akin to sleep, SATS, you are bypassing the critical, doubting mind and speaking directly to the creative source. This is the language of conviction. You are not trying to feel, you are already possessing the feeling. Faith is built in the silence, in the dark, in the moment when you look at the mountain and choose to see the way around it, without needing the physical proof. Your belief in your vision must be rock solid. Doubt will only delay the process while unwavering. Faith accelerates your manifestation. Faith gives you the necessary courage to push through the difficulties, take risks, and make decisions that align with your desired end. Confidence is not the belief that you will succeed. It is the realization that you cannot fail because the end is already decreed. Confidence comes from the inner authority of the king. A king does not beg for obedience. He issues a command and assumes his will is being executed. You must assume this royal attitude toward your life. When circumstances challenge you, you do not question the validity of your dream, you question the longevity of the circumstance. You know the circumstance is temporary because you have commanded a new reality. The ultimate application of faith is through brazen impudence, the refusal to submit your sovereignty to the tyranny of external facts. This is the moment where confidence and spiritual strength become one. When the world presents you with a compelling reason for fear, you must counter with an overwhelming reason for gratitude. When the physician gives a negative report, you do not argue with him. You turn inward and assume the joy of perfect health. You persist in that feeling until the outer world yields. Your persistence is the proof of your faith. It is the spiritual endurance that says, I have seen the end, and the end is glorious. Therefore, this current moment is irrelevant. Faith is the single-minded loyalty to your imaginal act. You are loyal to your future self, and you betray the old self. Furthermore, you must eliminate the source of doubt. Doubt is often the consequence of a scattered focus. When you try to manifest 5 different desires simultaneously, you dilute your faith. You are scattering the energy and creating 5 different avenues for doubt to enter. Mastery requires you to become monomaniacal regarding your primary desire. Focus your faith and attention on the one central state of consciousness, the feeling of the wish fulfilled, until it is absolutely solid. Once that feeling is achieved, the secondary desires will manifest in harmony without requiring separate acts of faith. The universe supports the concentrated mind. The scattered mind finds only chaos. The challenge is not to seek external validation or to wait for the perfect moment. The challenge is to believe in yourself so wholeheartedly that no external condition can shake your faith. You must become your own witness. The world's applause is secondary. Your inner conviction is primary. You must find the deepest layer of assurance within you and stand on it like a rock. When you achieve this unshakable conviction, you become unstoppable. You allow your dreams to become your reality. Your dreams are only one decision away from coming true, and that decision is the choice of faith over doubt. Choose certainty, choose conviction, choose faith, and the universe will move mountains to make your vision the new physical law. This is the final victory of the awakened king. You have the power, you have the conviction. Now go forth and conquer the last enemy, which is your own hesitation. We have reached the conclusion of our journey. We have taken the raw, formless energy of your desire and subjected it to the highest laws of the universe. We have journeyed through the valley of the shadow of doubt and emerged on the peak of conviction. We have seen the blueprint of reality. We have accepted the law of the mirror, recognized our own thoughts as the original image, and mastered the art of visualization. We have learned that emotion is the electrical current that fuels creation, and we have exerted the discipline of focus to sustain our vision against the chaotic noise of the world. We shattered the illusion of time by claiming the eternal now, and we stood firm against spiritual paralysis by choosing faith over doubt. But now, as the teaching ends, the greatest danger begins. The danger is not external. The danger is that you will leave this space and revert to the sleep of your old self. Knowledge without application is a tragedy. To know the laws of creation and choose to live as a victim is the greatest spiritual crime you can commit against yourself. You must not let this moment of clarity fade. You must make this knowledge flesh. The time for theory is over. Now is the time for absolute, radical application. The world is waiting to pull you back into the collective slumber. It will use the voices of your neighbors, the headlines of the news, and the familiar aches of your old body to tell you that everything we discussed was just poetry. You must resist this gravitational pull with the full force of your awakened consciousness. Authenticity is your greatest asset in this fight, but remember the true definition. Authenticity is not about venting your momentary fear or complaining about your reality. That is slavery to the lower self. True authenticity means being true to your highest self, the sovereign being who designed the blueprint. To be authentic is to act in alignment with your final vision, even when your physical senses present 1,000 reasons to falter. You must step into your sovereignty and accept the beautiful, terrifying burden of power. You are not the person who was watching this video 30 minutes ago. That person is dead. You are the new man, and the new man speaks only the language of dominion. You must issue the final command. The entire universe is listening to your internal dialogue. For too long, you have approached the throne of grace with a whispered plea. You have asked for permission to be wealthy, permission to be healthy, and permission to be happy. I tell you that the time for pleading is over. A king does not beg for a kingdom that is rightfully his. He decrees. You must assert the accomplished fact. The final command is the word I am, followed by the state you desire, spoken with the absolute conviction of its truth. You are not commanding God, for you are one with God. You are commanding the creative medium of your subconscious, your servant, to execute your will immediately. I am healthy. I am successful. I am free. Whatever follows I am will come looking for you. You are the prophet of your own life, and your prophecy must be delivered with authority, with passion, and with finality. Let your word be the sword that cuts away the illusion of delay. This commitment to the final command requires a covenant. You must enter into a sacred agreement with your own soul. This covenant is a vow of loyalty to the new man and a promise of perpetual silence regarding the old man. You must love your future enough to protect it from your past. Therefore, make a vow with yourself right now that you will never again speak the name of your old limitations. You will never again tell the story of your victimhood. If you catch yourself slipping, if the old voice of fear tries to tempt you, you must immediately intervene. You must say, "That is the old voice, and I do not know him," and immediately replace that thought with the declaration of the accomplished fact. This is the continuous, rigorous mental labor required for sustained creation. You must be the guardian of your own garden, ensuring that the weeds of doubt are starved of your precious attention. The world is waiting for the powerful, unstoppable version of you to emerge. The world is suffering not because there is too much darkness, but because there are not enough people shining their light. Your success is not a selfish endeavor. Your freedom is the key that unlocks the prison door for countless others. Your life is the evidence that the law works. You are the artist, the sculptor, and the creator of the masterpiece that is your life. The universe is not random. It is perfectly organized chaos, waiting for your specific focus and command to give it direction. You have been given the tools of the mind, thought, visualization, emotion, focus, and faith. It is your obligation to wield them with mastery, to build a structure that is worthy of the God who inhabits it. Do not fear the responsibility of power, fear the spiritual poverty of playing small. Your greatness is not something you will achieve. It is something you must express. Furthermore, you must invest in your own spiritual dominion. The most important investment you can make is not in the stock market or in real estate. It is in the discipline of your own mind. When you prioritize your own growth and the health of your inner world, every other area of your life improves automatically. You are the key to your success. You must nurture yourself with the food of high thoughts. Bathe yourself in the waters of high feelings, and treat yourself like the precious instrument of God that you are. This channel is here to serve as your spiritual charging station. When the world drains you, when the echoes of the past try to confuse you, you must return here and plug in. You need a source of power to remind you of your eternal sovereignty. Therefore, I ask you to seal this covenant with a final, conscious act. Do not let this moment of spiritual clarity pass without confirming your commitment to the new life. Like this video, to leave a physical, undeniable footprint of your agreement with this truth. By liking, you are leaving the old self in the grave. Subscribe to the channel to align yourself with the frequency of continuous creation. You are joining a family of creators, surrounding yourself with the energy of growth and mastery. This is your army, your support structure. Turn on the notifications so that when the world tries to put you back to sleep, we can ring the bell and wake you up again. Do not be a tourist in the land of wisdom. Be a permanent resident. And finally, I charge you with the final physical act of creation. Go to the comments below and declare your divine decree. Do not write, I hope to be, or I will try. Write, I am the architect of my reality. Write, I am unstoppable. Write, the old man is dead. Whatever your new truth is, write it down. Let your word be the first brick in the foundation of your new life. When you write it, you objectify it. You take it out of the airy realm of thought and you make it a physical fact on the screen. Let the world witness your transformation. Let your subconscious see the contract. Remember that you are always imagining. You cannot stop imagining. You are either imagining success or you are imagining failure. You are either imagining health or you are imagining sickness. The power is neutral. It creates whatever you feed it. You have fed it poison for long enough. Now feed it life, feed it beauty, feed it truth. You have the tools, you have the blueprint, you have the power. The only variable left is your persistence. Will you persist? Will you hold the vision when the night is dark? Will you walk in the assumption when the road is rough? I believe you will. I believe that the fact you have listened to this entire message is evidence that you are ready for your crown. You are not here by accident. You are here by divine appointment. You have an appointment with destiny. The old man is dead. Bury him with honor, but bury him deep. Do not visit his grave. Turn your face toward the sun. The new man is alive. Feed him with your attention. Clothe him with your faith. Let him walk in your shoes. Let him speak with your mouth. Let him act with your hands. You are the vessel of the God within. Let God live through you. Let God express his glory through your life. You are the masterpiece of the universe. Act like it. Walk like it. Live like it. Your time is now. Your word is law. Go and rule your world.